Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for game number 3. By the way, my chat is not working anymore, so I don't know if I'm still alive or if the stream has just died or something. Twitch seems a bit shaky recently. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, hopefully everyone can still hear me, and we're still good to go. And we're going on to game number 3, which is going to be on... Whoops, not that map. Huh. It's going to be on... That's the map. Excellent. Winning Cloud. So once again, TechnicS versus dRaW. dRaW now with a 2-0 lead. But it is not out of the realm of possibility for TechnicS to make a comeback, as we saw in the last series. So I don't think I want to dilly-dally around any longer. Let's just go into the game. Alright, here we go. At the top left as the white Protoss, we have dRaW. Bottom left as the blue Zerg. Probably a little bit shocked by this turn of events. We have TechnicS. Most people will be shocked by this turn of events, but you know what? I gotta say, this is definitely showing dRaw's preparation here. You know, as I said, he was practicing a ton for this match with Whistler, in fact. So yeah, he should well. Showing that he is pretty well prepared, and you know what? That might have been the first time I've ever seen a 2-gate Goon All-In like transition so smoothly into speedlots. Because almost every time I see a Goon All-In, it's either you kill your opponent, you hit your timing, or you fail miserably. And it looked for so long like that would be one of those fail miserably moments, and yet somehow just with persistent Goon Micro and a very smart transition out, you know, not just sticking on the Dragoons, because if he had stayed on Dragoons, I'm pretty sure he would have lost. But by switching suddenly into Speedlots and Templar, with TechnicS still just on Hydras, it was like absolute magic. And also sneaking that DT into the main was pretty smart as well. Man, dRaw's a pretty sneaky guy. So anyway, Probe's gonna come in here and gonna see the overpool. Of course they are vertical spawn, so scouting vertically is standard on Winning Cloud due to the symmetry. And interestingly, TechnicS sent his overload to the bottom right, so he's sending his overload to the further away natural first, which seems to be something more of a ZVT type scouting. I don't know why he's doing this in ZVT. Actually, now that I think about it, it's possible he's done this because he thinks if they spawned vertically, the probe would immediately come into his base anyway, so there's no point scouting vertically with the Overlord, because now that the probe's coming here, he already knows that dRaw's at the top left, so it doesn't really matter where his Overlord is, I guess, although obviously he still would like it to be spotting at the cliff. So, I mean, he's got a second Overlord going over there now, so I'm still not 100% convinced by this Overlord scouting, but I can see some sort of reason to it. Anyway, dRaW looks like he's again just going for a normal Forge Fast Expand opening. Now, he also has been fairly aggressive these last 2 games. I gotta say, every game I think today has been fairly aggressive openings by the non-Zerg. Like, the Zerg players are just trying to play standard, and they're like, well, you know, we're Zerg, so we'll probably win anyway. And it's up to the non-Zergs, actually, to pull the upsets and to pull out the prepared builds, and you know what? They are actually doing a good job of it. I'm actually fairly impressed. Because, you know... The typical lazy foreigners are not, especially brutal foreigners, are not known for putting a lot of time into preparation, so really applaud these guys. This second cannon, though, is not going to be done. Oh, this could be bad. Oh, this could be bad. Ooh, but he doesn't commit. I think that's probably smart because his other 2 Zerglings weren't there. Ooh, that could have been very, very dangerous. Now, interestingly, dRaW, I think, built this cannon back here to sort of hide it. So usually this kind of horizontal cannon placement, like perpendicular to the wall, is designed to tempt and bait a run-by that you want to fail. So you make 2 cannons, hoping, and build one a little bit out of sight, so you hope he goes for a run-by thinking there's only 1 cannon, when in fact you have 2 cannons, you kill all the Zerglings, and then you're a happy panda. But this time TechnicS actually does see it, so he's not going to try anything silly like that. But it looks like he's going for 5 hatch no gas again. he's doing it again. TechnicS, despite losing twice to this with this build, is persisting. He's going to try and make it work here. And you know what? It's definitely not a bad build. You know, some people might look at these games and be like, oh, this is a terrible build. You know, he just lost to two different, very, well, not very standard, but I mean, the +1 speed lock pressure from draw in game 1 was very standard. The 2-gate Goon all-in is not that common, but it does happen occasionally. So, you know, some people will be like, well, if this build can't defend either of those, then what good is it? But both the games are very, very close, you know? It definitely wasn't the builds that necessarily decided things. And 5-patch Hydra, especially, you know what, now that the more I think about this, the more I think this 5-patch Hydra is possibly well suited to TechnicS' style, because he's shown some really immaculate Hydra control in all his games in TLS, you know, in particular against Wands, and so far this series also, he's had really, really solid Hydra control, and that's exactly what you want when you go 5-patch Hydra. You know, it doesn't reward someone who's better with Mutamicro, obviously, or you know, doing crazy speeding or runarounds or things like that. But if you have good positioning, good Hydra control, 5-patch Hydra is definitely a strong build. But look at this draw. He's going for a Reaver. He doesn't even have a Stargate. He's going straight Reaver here. This is crazy. And you know what? This is an exact counter because he sees that TechnicS is doing the exact same build. So he's like, well, I don't need a Stargate. I'm going to Sair Reaver without the Sairs. Because what's the point of having Sairs if he doesn't even have a lair? I mean, there's no air to defend against. The whole point of Sairs when you go Sair Reaver is to protect the shuttle against Mutas and Scourge. Or I guess it's to protect the shuttle against Scourge and just protect everything against Mutas, because if you don't have the Corsairs, then obviously Mutas will kill you. But there's no way TechnicS is going to have either of those anywhere in time. And so dRaW has just skipped the Stargate in completely and just gone straight for the Reavers. This is actually awesome. This is amazing. Now, he did have 2 Zealots around to pressure, but he's going to pull them back now without actually going too far. He did force TechnicS to make a good number of Zerglings, so he's pretty happy about that. TechnicS maybe overmade Zerglings, possibly, because he doesn't seem to have the best drone versus Zealot micro for some reason. I'm still a bit baffled by that. I don't understand how someone with such good Hydra control can have such terrible drone control. Seems a little bit weird. I don't know, maybe just not a fan of drones. I mean, to be fair, drones do react a lot slower than Hydras. Anyway, where's... Oh, there it is. Alright, getting that Robo straight away, going straight for speed. Notice he didn't get a shuttle before Reaver. He's going to go straight for Reavers because he needs them to help defend against early Hydra pressure. Because obviously he's not going to have Storms, he's only going to have a few Zealots with no speed. So, you know, the Reavers are the only thing keeping him alive in this early portion of the game. So getting a fast shuttle is not something that's actually very useful, because even if you had a shuttle early on, you don't want to leave your base with the Reaver. Leaving your base with the first Reaver when you're going Sair Reaver, or in this case the variation without the Sairs, is basically just asking the Zerg to kill you. There have been so many games, even in Pro League, I mean, this is a mistake that even pros make. I know Cal in particular, in the Hybrid Pro League, just did this over and over again, where he would go Sair Reaver, leave his base with the first Reaver, and as soon as he left his base, the Zerg would Hydro Bust him and he would just die, because he had only a few cannons and a Zealot. And the Reaver is the crucial point of the defense here. Now the problem for dRaW is his Reaver's not done. For some reason his timing is off here. He wasn't building the Reaver for a really long time, and I don't know why. I was going to point this out. I thought he had it under control, but it looks like he didn't. I assumed he knew what he was doing, but it looks like by not building that Reaver straight away, he might actually die here. Now he's having to pull the probes here. The Reaver's out, but it obviously has to build Scarabs here. He needs to keep the Reaver alive. The cannons are not there anymore. If that Reaver gets targeted down, dRaW could just lose. Right here, that Reaver is almost dead. The Reaver isn't going to get a second Scarab. It gets a second Scarab. dRaW has 1 cannon and probes. Can he survive here? Oh my god, the cannon's going to fall, but dRaW is counterattacking at the 6 o'clock base with 3 Zealots. This is very, very critical. dRaW, I think, is in a bit of trouble because he can, with Lings here, he can't even rebuild the cannons, and the Reavers that pop out will be in danger. He's building a Templar Archives because he knows if he gets DTs out, he'll be in good shape, but 2 Overlords are here. Meanwhile, it looks like this this base, rather, has been taken out. 8 kills between these 3 Zealots. TechnicS, meanwhile, is sending out more troops. Why does he have 3? He's actually sent his drones from the 6 o'clock to the Protoss base. I don't know why. Oh my god, the thing is unpowered. Alright, now it's powered again. He really needs this Reaver to come out and have Scarabs. He needs to make Scarabs. Make Scarabs, make Scarabs. He needs to make Scarabs. Alright, he's making Scarabs. But I think TechnicS might have it, though. TechnicS just needs to run in and bust. dRaW making a pylon, another pylon even to help power his gateway. But there is the Reaver. It needs to get the beautiful Scarabs off if it is going to win. If he's going to hold. Can he hold here? The Reaver is okay. But dRaW, you know, he lost a number of probes. He's still not quite safe yet. I don't know if he can really afford to have his probes just chilling in his base. Looks like those 3 Zealots have been cleaned up here. Now Spire is on the way. 6 o'clock is back in mining. dRaW is definitely still in rough shape here. He's actually behind in supply. Doing a nice little block there. That's crucial. If he can actually just block everything off with buildings, that would be really helpful. But it looks like, oh my god, the Hydras might get him. The Hydras might get him. Oh, but those Hydras are stuck. The Hydras are actually stuck. The Reaver has 8 HP left. But the probes with the perfect money block keep that Reaver in the back alive. Is he making a shield battery? He is making a shield battery to keep that Reaver alive. Meanwhile, the Overlords get too close. But the 1 DT that spawned does get taken out. He's got to be so careful with the Reaver, though. He's got to not lose that Reaver. Oh my god, the Reaver needs to not die. Nemo! The Reaver falls at the cost of 5 Hydras. I feel like TechnicS is still in a good position, but I'm not sure. The thing is, if this Spire finishes and TechnicS suddenly switches to Muta, dRaW's gonna have nothing to defend it. He can just put like 2 Mutas in each mineral line, and dRaW has no anti-air whatsoever. So I don't know how dRaW is going to defend that. dRaW doesn't even have a forge anymore. Did he remake his forge? Okay, he remade his forge in the main base, but it is still very, very tricky for him to defend those Mutas. So even though he's surviving right now, I don't know what the follow-up is. I mean, look at this. TechnicS, oh, I think he just made a bunch of Muta. Oh man, he just made a bunch of Muta. He just made a bunch of Muta, and dRaw's not prepared. He is not prepared. He's making more gateways. But he's not prepared for this switch whatsoever. He has almost 1,000 gas. He wants to make Archons. If he can, when these gateway finishes, he can make a bunch of Archons, but it's not going to be in time. It is not going to be in time. The Mutas are about to pop. They are popping right now, and dRaW has nothing to stop them. I don't see how he's going to survive this. It would be a miracle if he survives this Muta attack. Look at this. 6 Mutas are on the way right now. No cannon in production. Oh man. Oh man, dRaw's gonna be so sad. And here we go. What's the reaction? There we go, they're falling. Now the gateways have finished. He can make Archons. He can make emergency cannons in the main base. It's not that many Mutas, so they don't have an insane amount of DPS yet. But obviously you can see, he's losing mine time, he's losing probes. But he is thinking to DP down to 6 o'clock. Now there's plenty of defense here. TechnicS not gonna fall for that trick. So dRaW pulling probes away. He's just trying to buy time here to keep himself alive. Oh man, he's got 1 High Templar there. He really needs an Archon. Oh man, he's not even making High Templar. He needs to make High Templar. He really needs to make High Templar right now. Why is he not making High Templar? Please make High Templar. Why? Make High Templar. Make High Templar. High Templar. Ooh, sick recharge. Nice, barely staying alive. But seriously, why is he not making High Templar? Does anybody know? He's got like 1,000 gas. Okay, he's finally making it. Oh man, anyway, he's going for a counterattack here in the main base. Oh, this could be very effective. This could be extremely effective, but TechnicS is wary though. He knows DT's dropped in the main. Oh man, he's gotta be careful. This Hydra's here at the natural. This Hydra's here, but the Reaver drops. And all the drones are stacked. If he gets a shot off here, it could be huge! It could be huge! Oh! What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What? Why did that not kill everything? Why? Why did that not kill everything? God! Ugh. Oh my god. I don't even know, man. Scarabs. Oh, Scarabs. Anyway, at least the DT kills something. Alright, so that could have been the most legendary Scarab of all time. But, you know, being a Scarab, it decided to take the high road and not do anything useful whatsoever. Oh man. Could you imagine if that had hit? Oh! Like 10 drones roasted. Even more. Anyway, dRaW is actually getting energy, so presumably he has Storm already. And that's also why he's not making Archons. I feel like he should make at least 1. 7 High Templars seems a little bit excessive. He doesn't even have a cannon in his natural, actually. Meanwhile, the Reavers actually found this attempted expansion here at the bottom right, so it's taking care of that. Actually, where the hell did all the Mutas go? Did they die? I think the Mutas might have actually gotten stormed while we were watching the Reaver. Yeah, because this High Templar has 3 kills. So I think dRaW has actually killed the Mutas with storms. Sorry I missed that, but I don't know. That Reaver, man. Oh, get him! Get him! Ugh, doesn't quite get him. So dRaW has somehow stabilized. He's at 81 supply. TechnicS, though, look at this. He's at 93. He's kept the hatchery out here alive. So TechnicS still very much in the lead. By the way, look at this. He's trying to intercept the shuttle on its way back. But dRaW now going for a storm drop. There's a few Hydras here, but the Zealots will be able to distract them, and the Speed Shuttle cannot be stopped so easily. I don't think dRaW realizes he can just go for it. Yeah, he's just gonna go for it. Here we go. He's going in. Storm! Storm! Man, dRaW, you gotta work on the storms, bro. Oh, at least he saved one. Alright. Second storm, not so good. First storm does get a few drones. Anyway. So dRaW is just trying to pull this back here. Again, he's still in a pretty hairy situation. He's just gonna try and win it with some great harassment, which is what he's known for, just multi-shuttle harassment. This is exactly what dRaW does. And somehow this DT from earlier is still alive in the main base. I don't know how this is still alive. I guess TechnicS didn't bother hunting it down. And meanwhile, look at this. Oh, that's gonna be bad. Oh, that shuttle. Oh! What? Man, speed shuttles are... Oh, no, never mind. Oh, but we got another High Templar. Oh, he had no energy, I bet. I bet you he had no energy. Yeah, he's just gonna chill there. But look at this dRaW, sending out a little assassination squad to this bottom right base. He could actually snipe the hatchery since he has a DT there, if he just targets this. Oh, but this Overlord's on the way, and there's a second hatchery there anyway. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what dRaw's game plan is here, because he's got to do something. I mean, he's 2 base against 4 base. He's not going to have an easy third to take. The 12 o'clock third is quite far away, and obviously the 9 o'clock third is very close to the Zerg. So I'm not really sure what his long-term plan here is, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I guess for now he's just going to keep harassing as much as possible, try and get some monster drone kills. The thing is, you know, this harassment is good, but you still need to have a game plan. You know, you can't just harass. Eventually you need to do something else, and that something else is what's going to be key here, I think. Yeah, the 1DT has actually been ferried over to the bottom right, but that's, again, not doing too much. So what does dRaW have? I mean, I wonder if he's just going to go for a huge 2-base attack. He's got 2 Reavers in his army, which is not something you usually see in a mid-game Protoss army. But, I mean, he's 20 supply behind, but he really should be ahead. Protoss needs to be ahead in supply in the mid-game against Zerg. Actually, at almost all times against Zerg, you should be ahead in supply if you want to win the big engagements. And see, these harassments are okay, but I don't think they're being that cost-effective. TechnicS is doing a fairly good job of defending them. And every time he does this, he's losing units, right? I mean, these aren't free. He's losing, like, this drop is going to cost him 2 Zealots and 2 High Templars, and possibly the shuttle. That's not cheap. And how many drones is he going to kill? You know, he killed, like, okay, he killed, like, 9 drones, maybe 10 drones. Is that really worth it for 2 Zealots, a shuttle, and 2 High Templar? I mean, that's very expensive for a drop, right? And TechnicS with so many hatcheries and such a good economy already, I don't know if he's that concerned. But dRaW is now moving out with his main army, hoping that, you know, following that economy damage, TechnicS might be a little bit flustered, a little bit weak. But dRaW similarly has to be careful to keep his army together. He cannot be afforded to move out with these small groups of units here. He needs to keep the big army together. He's got to be careful with the High Templar as well. Doesn't want to get these sniped off. These are almost max energy High Templars, it looks like. And dRaW is in fact going to get the 9 o'clock base, so he's okay with expanding towards his opponent because he's also putting his army in the same position, kind of keeping pressure on it. And it doesn't look like TechnicS is even aware of this main base yet, so if dRaW can actually get some cannons up here, it's not the worst base to take in the world, in fact, even though it is close to your opponent. Meanwhile, this base is just chilling. Hive should be on the way, yep. Hive on the way. And... oh, looks like TechnicS sees it now, so he's going to stop that. And the army actually isn't even in position. So, looks like dRaW though, he's going for it. He's going to be attacking in a bit of a funny angle here. It's sort of downhill and then uphill. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That Reaver needs to stay alive. That Reaver is crucial, but look at the storms. The storms are beautiful. He needs one more though. Does he have any more? He's got so many more storms. Where are the storms? He needs a storm right now. He needs to storm the Hydras, and there are some more storms. He needs more. He's double storming everywhere. That's not ideal. He's double storming a lot, actually. A little bit surprising. The storms could definitely be better, but look at this wave of reinforcements from TechnicS, not giving Protoss any chance. GG from dRaW, and TechnicS pulls it back, taking his first game here. So we're going on to game number 4. It's going to be on Outsider, and that, I think, is going to be very interesting because I know dRaW has prepared that map, and dRaW in particular, with his style of going mass drops, with going for Sarah Reaver, is going to love Outsiders. So TechnicS is really going to have to do something special, I think, to take the next game. Or we could see a 3-1, but let us not speak too soon. So, go into a quick ad break and then coming back for game number 4.